I have rookie camps underway today. There's a little Cowboys tent. Look how cute, right on the 50. Little campfire. Jerry Jones still trying to build these Cowboys into a Super Bowl winner. And their latest draft class is in there, starting rookie camp today. Tyler Booker there, of course. And here's a few needs that they address. They ranked 24th in pass. Oh, we're going to hear from Tyler Booker. My bad. Here he is. Here's what he said today.
That this rookie contract is just, Lord willing, the first of a couple that I have coming in front of me. So I was just focused on getting to work. I wasn't too worried about the little extremities. That's stuff for my agent to worry about. So I told her, I was like, look, let's get this thing done. I'm ready to get to work. Like, I always wanted to be a professional football player. I always wanted to win Super Bowl. So now I'm just worried about helping my team win, being an asset to my team. You know, like yeah, I'm in the NFL now, but like, what am I going to do in the NFL? That's what matters.
Honestly, his sound bites are amazing. Great person. All right, the Cowboys addressed some big team needs in the draft. They ranked 24th in pass block win rate last season, so they drafted Tyler Booker, the guard. With the loss of DeMarcus Lawrence, they drafted edge rusher Donovan Ezaraku, and they ranked second worst in opponents' yard per attempt last season, so they drafted cornerback Siobhan Revell Jr. And they couldn't run the ball, so they drafted running back Jaden Blue. So there you go. I mean, that makes you feel good. But, Tim, did they do enough in the draft to address all of their issues?
Yeah, no, they didn't. And like, in fairness to the Cowboys, because like you just outlined it great, Laura. Like, when you look at it, it's like, look, there were needs, and then look, and presumably they're drafting good players to fill in, you know, the void and the needs that they have there. Look, when you look at some teams, Cowboys would be one of them. I think there are a couple other teams. Patriots would be one of them. Like, one swing of the hammer is not going to fix it all. Like, it's not going to be one pass through free agency. It's not going to be one pass through the draft that all of a sudden you go, yep, we fix it. You know, so, you know, some of the criticism of, well, you're going to get Dak a wide receiver. It's like, well, if you did get him a receiver, were you going to get him the left guard that you needed to get him? So, listen, I think the Cowboys did a good job. I don't think you can really ever fault them for the talent they bring in. I think they do a nice job of that. I just think we're a team with how things have kind of shaken out and where they are with their quarterback and his contract, that, look, you're going to have to be patient in terms of the turnaround.
Yeah, Tim, Amari Cooper is still out there, a potential fill for that wide receiver 2 spot in Dallas. And I'm told there is at least some mutual interest between the player and the team on a reunion. Now, money will be the sticking point most likely. I'm told Dallas really doesn't want to spend a lot in remaining free agency. Amari Cooper's made almost $140 million, so I doubt he's going to take a minimum deal at this point. But look, they got the coming weeks and months, see if they can come to some sort of agreement. It looks like he's not going to resign in Buffalo. So I do expect Dallas to sort of comb that market, add at least one offensive piece at some point.
Yeah, D-Wood, is Cooper enough to fill that number 2 spot in Dallas?
Yeah, I mean, listen, he's getting up there in age. He's obviously, the Cowboys are very familiar with Amari Cooper, being that he played with the Dallas Cowboys. But listen, Laura, they need someone opposite CeeDee Lamb. It's just been like just barren at the number 2 receiver for the Dallas Cowboys, and it just makes it so much, you know, for opposing defense, makes it easier when you get to scheme up CeeDee Lamb when you don't have a threat opposite him. So whether it's Amari Cooper or or trade or something, they need to address that in order to get the most out of this passing game.
Jeremy, where do things stand with Micah Parsons getting a new deal, by the way?
Well, I'm told Dallas has not ramped up negotiations with Parsons' agent as of yet. So they plan to, they want to, they've essentially budgeted for this. They know what the market is. It's going to be well above $40 million per year. But Dallas isn't comfortable waiting. We've seen that with Dak Prescott. He didn't get a deal done until September of last year. CeeDee Lamb late August. Trevon Diggs over the summer. So they're going to wait this out a little bit and see what shakes out.
Time for one more thing. Earlier we had Panthers wide receiver Xavier Legette on. He was riding a horse in a Kentucky Derby. And so we made that happen for D-Wood because D-Wood wasn't sure if he could, but D-Wood, now you can because we did it.
It's amazing what you can see, what you can do.
We didn't really, but
great minds think alike.
Exactly. Nothing like a good gray suit. Jeremy's got a lot of news insights. We got Tim Hasselbeck, Davey, and Woody with us throughout, and Jordan Reed is going to join us for his way too early 2026 mock draft. But I got to say, it's never too early for that. Let's begin though in Green Bay. We're going to hear from rookie wideout Matthew Golden. Here's what he told Jordan Love when he reached out.
He texted me literally right after I got drafted, told me it's time to go to work, congratulated me, and just told me, well, it's time to work. Come here and work.
What did you have to say to him? What do you have to say to him?
Oh, I'm ready. Yeah, I'm ready. You know, I've been waiting for this moment my whole life, and you know, to be here, like I said, I'm gonna be present, but you know, I'm gonna let my presence be known. I'm gonna come here and compete.
He's so much fun. He was great in front of that home crowd at the draft in Green Bay as we welcome in Rob Demovsky, of course, our Packers reporter who was there today. Rob, how do the Packers plan to use Golden?
Laura, I'm sure you remember Matt LaFleur saying right after they picked Golden that he FaceTimed Jordan Love, and Jordan Love joked that I've got to get that arm loosened up to throw those deep balls to Golden's 4.29 second speed. But in all seriousness, what the Packers love about Golden is his versatility. They think he's more than just a deep threat receiver. Now, I asked LaFleur today, as rookie minicamp started, if he's already started to put things into the offense for Golden, and he said, while he hasn't done that, he did during the evaluation process tell general manager Brian Gutekunst, this is how I envision using him. Obviously, Gutekunst must have liked what he heard because he went ahead and drafted him. But LaFleur said one other thing. He goes, I know that there's going to be something positive that pops up that we're going to see that we didn't see on tape that we'll be able to use with Golden. And he's going to start that process here at rookie minicamp when they hit the practice field tomorrow. Now, one note, Laura, about a veteran, the ongoing saga between the Packers and Jair Alexander. They're all pro cornerback. Is he going to play here? Is he going to get cut? Is he going to get traded? LaFleur did say that Alexander was not here this week for the voluntary in-person team activities. That's interesting to note because Alexander did take part last week when they did things virtually. They kept the players away because of all the stuff around here with the draft and logistically. So Alexander was part of the virtual stuff but was not here in person this week.
Yeah, really interesting to keep an eye on. Jeremy Fowler has an update on that in just a bit. And I must say, Rob, Lambeau's looking gorgeous today, okay, as you well know. All right, the Packers have done their best to put solid pass catchers around Jordan Love over the last 4 drafts. They've taken 7 pass catchers in the first 3 rounds, 5 wide receivers and 2 tight ends. However, Matthew Golden is the first receiver they've drafted in the first round since 2002, and it's the first time they've taken 2 wide receivers in the first 3 rounds in the common draft era. Somebody's going to say, Aaron Rodgers, saying, where was that when I was here? Anyway, Tim, a lot of receivers for Jordan Love. What do you think, though, specifically about the addition of Matthew Golden?
I think it's great, you know, because he's super talented. I mean, just watch it, even the highlights that we were playing there. You see his speed, and I do think he's, you know, more versatile, as Rob Demovsky was, you know, kind of referring in terms of the optimism, you know, in Green Bay of what type of player he can be. And I would say, I actually think Green Bay has had a pretty good receiving core, especially when you factor in, you know, their tight ends and the way that they've played. And so, to me, it really wasn't this glaring area of need, other than to say some of these young, productive wide receivers that they've had, they've been injured. And so because of that, I think, you know, getting a dynamic player who's young, kind of build, you know, into the room, I think should be really exciting for Packers fans. And so, look, they did that, but they also did other things. They still, you know, addressed the offensive line in the 2nd and 7th round.